Hi everybody, Carmen here with Fresh Cut Flower Farm, and today I'm going to be starting some Snapdragon seeds. So as you may recall from my previous videos, I had planted out some Snapdragons back in the fall, and I made the decision to leave them uncovered throughout the winter. And some of them are not looking so good. So what I intend to do is go ahead and start some seeds today. I'm about 13 weeks out from my last spring frost, and then they should be ready to go in about 6 to 7 weeks, and I'll get them planted out into the garden. The Snapdragons that I'm going to be starting today are the Maryland mix. I've got the Opus mix. I've got Rocket mix. Potomac dark orange, Potomac mix, I've got Monaco mix, Madame Butterfly ivory, and then I have a package of the apple blossom mix. It is really pretty, but I have horrible luck germinating these, but I'm going to try again and we'll see what happens. Now when I'm starting seeds, I prefer to do soil blocking. Last year was the first year that I done soil blocking, and it takes up so much less room than using the 72 cell trays. So let me show you all of my equipment that I'm using to do the soil blocking with. So this is the mixing tub that I'll be using. This is just a concrete mixing tub that I got at Lowe's. It was very reasonable. I think it cost $8. So, and then I've got, of course, my soil blocker. This is a small soil blocker. So there's 20 blocks in here, and each block measures 3/4 inch. And then to sow the Snapdragon seeds, I'll be using the toothpick method. And then I've also got a cup of water to dip my toothpick in. I've got me a measuring cup. I've got a potato masher to mix all of the ingredients with. Got labels and a garden pen. Always label. I know you think you'll remember, but if you're like me, you never remember. And then I've got my trays, and you can fit 5 of these soil blocks in each tray. I've got a bucket of water. I've got a bucket of compost, and then a bucket of soil mix. And both of these I sifted earlier. If you'll remember, I did another video where I sifted the potting mix that I had purchased. I kind of did a test run with it, and it felt like when I watered those soil blocks, they kind of fell apart a little easier than what I would have liked. So I've decided to go ahead and add in the compost. The ratio that I use is 4:1. So 4 parts of the potting soil mix, and then 1 part of the compost. And then once that's mixed together, I'll do 3:1 with the water. So 3 parts of the compost potting soil mixture and 1 part of the water. I kind of wanted to follow the recipe that was on Gardener's Workshop, but I just don't have those products available here in my area. So make do with what I have. All right, let's get started making the soil blocks. So now I'm just mixing together the potting soil and the compost before I add in the water. And it's completely okay if you don't get your proportions exactly right. You know, if your mix needs to be kind of like brownie mix, kind of like a really moist brownie mix is how I like to think of it. And you know, if you get it too wet, just add in a little more of your dry ingredients, and if it's not wet enough, just add in more water. So like this one here, Emily, I've got a helper today. Emily's my helper today. She's doing the filming. Emily's the baby. She's still left at home. zoom in here. As you can see, this is way too wet, okay? So I'm just going to add in some more of the dry ingredients. And a lot of it is just trial and error. You'll figure it out. I think that is right about what we want. That looks pretty good. So you kind of just want to pile it all together, kind of in the middle there, and then just push down. And just go back and forth. You don't have to scrape it off. I think it's just a habit that I do it. There you go. So I'm going to get all of my blocks done, and then we'll go back and plant. I've got all of my soil blocks made and ready to go. I've made 700 of them. And your Snapdragon seeds are super, super tiny. I'll show you here. You can see how tiny those Snapdragon seeds are. We're going to use the toothpick method. So the toothpick method, you just need to get the tip of it wet. You can either use some saliva. I just keep a little cup of water handy. You're going to wet the end of your toothpick and then just touch the tip of your seed, and there you have your seed. Now, Snapdragon seeds, since they are so tiny, all you do is surface sow them. So you just touch the seed to the top of your soil, just push in, just press it just a little bit, just to firm it in there, but you're not going to cover it up, okay? So let's get started here. So I've got the first tray of the Snapdragons planted up. I'll get the other ones planted up with my other varieties. Once they're all done, I will take them downstairs. I'm going to put them on the heat mat, but I will put a towel or something in between the heat mat and the seedlings. Snapdragons are a cold hardy annual, so they like temperatures a little bit cooler as opposed to like your zinnias and your sunflowers that like it warm. And they'll take about 1 to 2 weeks to germinate. And once they germinate, hopefully in about 4 weeks, I'll be able to plant them outside. So that is it for this video. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.